morning, operatives. This is John from Level 0 Games, here to show off the latest build. So the first thing you'll notice are the new fonts. The pixel font is still used for a few of these title sections here, but most of it has been replaced by this easier to read font here. I'm still looking at different options, but for right now this is doing pretty well. Eventually, I'd like to have actual font selection in, but that's still probably a lower priority. There's also been a lot of tweaks in the backside to make the fonts sharper. There are some half pixel offset things where if you scroll, the font could rest on a half pixel, which make that edge fuzzy. But it's now resolves more often to a whole value, so they should be clearer. In addition, there are the assets buttons. So you see over here, the assets are listed and they have the percentage of that asset. So these profiting assets will slowly empty out over time as they're used up. And if we have a developing asset, that'll slowly fill up as it gets created. And again, once it's full, then it gets profited and the value drops down. Once the value hits zero, it gets discarded, and then they develop new assets to take its place. So that is the quick notion to assets. The next big thing is, well, not that big, but it's operatives have birthdays. So Hariko Yuen just had a birthday on the 9th of a couple months ago, actually. It's kind of an old memo. But yeah, so they have age now. They have birthdays. They don't have any time off on their birthday. You know, operatives are always at work, but uh, eventually we'll be fleshing them operatives out more and more. And that kind of thing will come up. Um, and if they get old enough, they will pass. Just kind of a moment's notice kind of thing, but just kind of a temporary placeholder so you don't have Methuselah operatives running around. Yeah, so the final big addition are teams. So right now we have a mission team of Papa here, which is no one in it. And if you create a new team, it just generates one, and you can just assign operatives to that team, and you can take them back off. So mission teams can be assigned to missions, and the mission resolves, the team stays together. So this is your way of grouping together operatives that you know work well together. So if you have like a hacker, a gunner, a face, and a spy that you send out on most missions, you can put them on one team, and then they'll stick together and work together. Right now, this is just a grouping mechanism, but eventually teams become more complex to kind of specialize and form bonds and work better together. Yeah, and then if you just disband the team, then the operatives just go unassigned, and you can create a new one, like so. So when you actually go to the missions menu and plan a mission, a few new additions. Reveal targets are on top, just because it makes more sense. And the intel you have on the thing is actually listed underneath it, as you see here. So let's say we want to investigate these guys. You see that the usual assign operatives things have been placed over here. So we can assign the teams we've already made, like Team Tango, or we can create a new team to bring us to that operatives team menu we saw before. So if you assign this team, then you'll see our proposals and such have those members on them. You also see the specialists interface here, and I know this is a bit awkward. This interface is going to need some iteration and probably a unique design for it, but we'll be continuing to make this thing a bit more legible in UI sense. But specialists here, they're ones you can add for individual missions, and then these two aren't very useful for this particular thing, but oops, they'll show up for the various tasks here if they're useful. Say they have Asha the Spy, and if you take them off, then Hariko has to do it. So the specialists will be on for the mission. Once the mission resolves, and they come back to the unassigned pool. So there's our full team there. If you want, we can add or remove specialists, or we can go to manage teams. You'll see here we can take them off a specialist. Maybe you want to add them permanently. And all that's just the same stuff. Yeah. And if you want, we can cancel the whole team assignments. you can create a new team or assign another team that we have available, whatever you might want to do. So yeah, that's team management real quick, and that is the last feature in this new quick build. There's been a few other small fixes and tweaks. Yeah, hope you enjoy what you've seen so far. We're going to keep getting new builds out to everybody. I'm looking forward to the next big build with operations and intel. That's still going to be a bit of ways off, but we're working pretty hard on that. So I hope you enjoy what we got now, and I will see you on the flip side.